Okay, I am here at the Overland Expo, and my goal for this whole place is to answer the question, what is the ultimate bug out vehicle? And I'm going to try to interview people and see what questions I can ask about the adventures and places that they've been and how their vehicle is the ultimate bug out vehicle. So stick with me. It's just like you've done this once before.
I do it for a living, kind of.
That's awesome. Hey, this is Tyler. I'm here with Mike, and he has what I wish I had, the awesomest vehicle here. And I've got a simple question for him. So, if you had to create the ultimate bug out vehicle, what would it be? And my hypothesis is the ultimate bug out vehicle is something that you can stay in indefinite amount of time. So you can just get in, go, and never have to come back.
And I would agree with that. So, in my opinion, and having done this for many years, and having lots of different rigs, this is as close as I've ever gotten to what you're describing.
To the ultimate perfect rig.
Yeah.
But
And,
how come?
well, as an example, right now, I've been off-grid, unplugged, 5.5 months right now.
That's phenomenal.
Totally on solar.
So what do you run out of? I mean, electricity.
I would say the weakest link would be fresh water.
Fresh water.
But I have some backup systems and stuff that we can look at on board where unless I don't run out unless I'm in an area that is very water poor.
Can you pull it from a creek? Or do you
I can pull it from a creek. I can pull it from probably from a swamp. I can, there's multiple ways to get water on board, so that is an advantage.
I think that's wrong. And some other stuff that people don't oftentimes think about, and I know because he told me the year of this vehicle, is an EMP.
Yep.
So
That's
that
right.
would probably mess up your electrical system, but I know your engine would continue to run.
It's one of the reasons I wanted an older version of this truck is because it's the 3116. The Cat is non-electronic.
It's just all mechanical. It's the 80. It's the same engine that I have. It's the only reason I know about that.
Correct.
So
That's right.
I'm really excited to run into him. I come stalking him.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a look.
So let's check it out. His channel.
Drive the Globe.
Drive the Globe.
Well, on
You need to
all
go watch
social
that.
media, pretty much. Drive
All
the
over
Globe.
the place. Drive the Globe. Check that out, and we'll do a walkthrough of this real quick.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Let's do it. Yeah,
Let's go inside.
Let's go inside.
I got a question too, though. This guy, who makes it?
So this is the Stairs is torque lift. So you could buy the Stairs. I bought the Stairs, and then this I actually got an idea from somebody online. All it is a drawer slide for a big tool chest. I think it's a 700-pound rating.
So I've found when I start to build my own stuff, I have questions that other people don't think of, if that makes sense.
Right.
Meaning, like, how did you build the stairs?
Yeah, so it's 3 pieces.
So
it's buying the Stairs, buying the drawer slides, which you can get on Amazon. They're just regular drawer slides for a tool chest. And then the middle part, this is a I forget what they call it, but it's a great thing for, it goes in between the chassis rails on a semi truck.
awesome.
And the driver would stand on them to get their chains and stuff that's hanging behind the cab. So that's the part that I use. And then you just bolt it together, and I put L bracket, aluminum channel here that I just bolted to the truck, and then it mounts on that. And then what's nice about it is it slides in, and the Stairs goes in, and you don't have to. There's no storage then.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Trust the auto.
Trust the auto.
Trust the auto.
Okay, so I watched this on
Yeah.
the video, but it is surreal in real life. It is very cool. And one thing that really stuck out to me is you said you put Ikea in here.
Yeah, so I took some flack online about that.
And
obviously.
I say, if you can save money, good for you.
Yeah. Well, the idea is that I wanted to build this whole rig, economically, sort of, and prove that you could do it. Because a lot of, sure, you can walk over and buy a $700,000 big overland rig.
Sell your house.
But this is like, I wanted it to be able to be, A, I wanted to be able to do it myself. And B, I wanted to show other people that it can be done. And the military's platforms are probably the best platform out there because you can get the truck fairly inexpensively, and it's a great platform to put whatever you want to build on it.
That's awesome. So what exactly, you bought? Just the cupboards? I haven't spent.
So the way the IKEA thing works is it's just the cabinets actually bolts to the wall. They hang on a rail. I kind of reinforced it, knowing that I'm going to be pounding it off road.
How did you attach the rail to the aluminum of the LMTV wall?
It's all screwed.
Just screwed straight into the aluminum?
Yep.
Okay. It's like with the self-tapping screws?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you seal it or anything?
Yes, I seal everything when I do it. Yeah, I caulked the living daylights out of everything. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's all sealed up. But yeah, so I put rail. I actually double railed it. So normally in a house you do one. I did 2 rails, and then what's nice about Ikea, it's all modular, right? So the cabinet itself is a box. You know, they're cabinets.
So if you don't like it, you can just pop it out and.
Well, you never really have to change the cabinet part. You just change the face. So I could make this look completely different for probably, $200. It's not that expensive.
That's awesome.
And during the pandemic, I had no choice. It was like what you could get, whatever they had is what you could get. So that's how and they have a kitchen designer there. So I gave them the size. They lay it all out on a CAD program. And sure enough, that's what happens. And then I didn't really pick out the colors necessarily. It worked out great, but that's what they had. And it was actually their higher end, the higher end cabinets because people didn't want to spend money.
That's just phenomenal, though.
So yeah,
if someone wants to build their own, I think that's the awesome answer.
It's easy.
Yes.
Because you can do nowadays. There's all sorts of stuff out there you can have custom made, but it's pretty pricey.
Yeah.
So
it ends up being more.
This was easy to do by myself. It's actually all IKEA. It's not just the cabinets. The countertops IKEA. The double bowl sink is IKEA. The behind us here we've got the this folds up. So this is sort of my table. I don't use it that often, honestly, and everything I've magnetized. So you'll notice that when you're in transport, nothing moves.
So you just stick a
they're heavy duty like these cabinets are like they don't open. So they're magnets. It's just magnets.
Right here, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And I put extra bungees here just so that stuff doesn't slam against it.
Keep it from shifting around. And stuff.
I got a fold down desk here. So one of the goals, my main goals for this was that this is my house, right? I live in it full time. So the goal was when I drive into camp, there's very little setup. And the 3 goals were big shower, a bed that I didn't have to set up every day, and a comfortable workspace that I can kind of be in. And the computer stays permanently mounted here, so
it's like an editing platform.
Right it's my editing platform.
Nice.
Right. Yep. And most of the time I eat dinner here at the computer desk.
Normal.
But then just regular stuff like, this is RV stuff. It's a Dometic. I got a stovetop. I got an oven.
Where's your fridge?
Fridge is over here. So I've got actually 2 fridges on board. So this pulls out. It's a dual zone Dometic freezer fridge. And then I've got a same size unit in the cab. So I tend to keep all my beverages in the cab. And this is just, this is all full of food.
Quick access and storage, basically.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And then above here, you got a microwave oven. So when you're in a rush and that's how you want to cook, you hit something in the microwave.
Gotta get your noodles.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So that's all the first stuff, I guess. So maybe we'll talk about.
Well, you can go back there if you want, because that's that's the bathroom. So you got a cassette toilet in there and the sink. That, by the way, the sink and the vanity thing is also IKEA.
Go.
I chose to use a cassette toilet, which are not that well known in the United States. They're hard to get here. As opposed to a composting toilet or something else. My preference was with the composting thing for me was a little bit too. It's got a power drain because it's got to run a fan all the time. Because that's easy, you can dump it in anywhere, any bathroom,
It's like there's an actual thing underneath that you pull out. Can you?
Yeah.
Pull
So this. So
it's right here.
So most of the time on an RV, normally you pull out the side of the RV. So this panel just pulls out, and it's basically a suitcase. It's got a handle on it. It's got wheels, and you can roll it. And like here at Overland Expo, I can just roll it to a porta potty and dump it in there.
But it's that small. It shouldn't be that heavy, really.
It's not that heavy. You can carry it. Yeah. It's 7.5 gallons.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Nope. So that's the bathroom, and then I wanted it separate because I wanted a real shower. Everybody has their different priorities. So if you go back that way, it's a 36 by 36 pan full size house shower with a rain head, glass door, and everything. People ask, how much water do I use? Well, if I take on that rain head, believe it or not, it's only about a gallon a minute. So, you know, I could take a shower. I don't have to, I got no hair to wash. So I could take a 4-minute shower. I use 4 gallons. I got an 85-gallon freshwater tank. So that's quite a few showers.
That is phenomenal.
And then the big thing on the LMTV here, behind you, is the bump out. So I built a 5-foot, bump out because I wanted, like I said, I didn't want to have to set my bed up every day. And this way, the original box is 12 feet, and the bed would have taken up too much room.
So this is like triangular storage underneath right there?
Yeah, so, yeah. And I mean,
I'll pull back.
so you got, so this is your vanity, or not your vanity, your wardrobe.
Yeah.
So it's got drawers, and it's got, you know, hanging stuff. Tons of space.
IKEA stuff still, right?
This is IKEA.
Nice.
And actually, I had to build this in place and not follow the 3-word IKEA directions because I couldn't build it and then tip it up because it wouldn't fit. So I actually built it standing up in here.
I mean,
It's
who
a
actually
little
reads the directions from IKEA?
You can't.
That's awesome.
And then, like you said, underneath the bed is, yes, it's like a triangular. If you back up that way. This opens up. So I didn't want to put a lot of weight in the back of the truck. And this opens up, and you can see it's a mess. But it basically, it's triangular. I keep my toilet paper and paper towels. I got a vacuum cleaner down there. And dirty laundry. So that's where I put my dirty laundry in
That is
there.
awesome.
Yep.
Okay, give me 1 second.
So obviously the big systems on board the truck are power and water, right? The power system is solar based. It is all Renogy. This is a 100 amp MPPT charge controller. So I have on the roof, and we can go up there and take a look if you want, but there are 12 100 watt panels. So I've got 1200 watts of solar panels, and I have 900 amp hours of lithium battery. So I have 9 Battleborn 100 amp hour batteries. And I run...
They're lithium, right? As opposed to lead acid. Why did you...
so lithium, you could basically, meaning when you have 900 amp hours, you can use all 900 amp hours because they can drain down to 0. Whereas a traditional battery at 50%, they're done.
Have you had any problems with cold temperature?
They're heated.
Oh, okay.
So but I have found without heating, even down to a little bit, probably 28 degrees are okay. They can still charge. They maybe don't charge as efficiently, but they're heated, so I can charge below that. So that's kind of the power. I also have a 3,000 watt inverter in the Habitat, and I have another 3,000 watt inverter in the cab actually. So right now, all of this, like my, the coffee machine and the toaster and the microwave, all that stuff, that's all running on AC power. Everything else is on 12. The whole rest of the Habitat is on 12 volt.
Awesome.
So I designed this basically as a standard RV kind of hookup system. So water, I got an 85-gallon freshwater tank. I have a 20-gallon gray water tank.
Where are they located?
The gray water tank is external underneath the truck here. And obviously, being that it's gray water, it's just water. So that, you can drop that on the ground.
Is that something you created or purchased?
I did. I created that. Well, I had the tanks made. They're plastic tanks. It's an 85-gallon freshwater tank that's located inside the Habitat. The fill is up here, external. I could fill it off of, out of a stream, from any kind of source. I have actually, when I was down in Baja this winter, there was a well that was located nearby, and I just dropped a pump down. I could pump up 250 feet and a 400-foot run. So I've got pretty good flexibility of where I can get my water from.
Some crazy place, yeah.
Exactly, and I filter it. I pre-filter it going into the system, and then there's 2 filters on board. My drinking water is filtered by a UV light LED system. So in theory, I haven't really tested it to that extent, but you could probably pull it out of a swamp in Africa and drink it. And then
It tastes very good.
and in addition, because I designed it sort of in an RV, I have you can hook it up to any kind of water system externally and bypass the pump and everything else, and just bypass the tank and go directly into your water system. So there's multiple ways of getting water into the truck. Same thing with power. I got a 30 amp Shore connection. just like you would on any other RV. I even went and put like cable hookups and internet hookups and everything else. Not that I ever use those really, but so that's kind of water and power. And I go a solid. So I'm traveling by myself. I go a solid 2 weeks at least on my freshwater tank, and that's taking a shower every day.
How many gallons?
85.
85.
Yeah.
So 100 gallons would be almost overkill.
The more the merrier
better.
if you can
Yeah.
carry it. It's just weight. Yeah.
I like the horn. I'm seeing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's probably the loudest horn. If I blow that horn right now, they'll hear it in downtown Flagstaff.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. Big air horn. I put 2 powered awnings on either side of the truck up on top there. You can see the reason for that. Not so much as awning cover for us standing down here because they're so high, but it definitely blocks 75% of the heat that will go through the windows. So, and that's kind of why I put awnings on both sides, because normally you probably only have it on one side.
Makes total sense. What did you do with these boxes right here? I know the original version
Okay.
has the AC.
Right. So the 1079 has these bump out boxes, I call them. In this box is where all my house batteries are. So that's where the Battleborns are on this side.
How many did you get in that box?
9.
9 in that box.
9.
Are they on top of each other? Or just...
Nope, they're all laid out.
Awesome.
Yep. And then in the middle is where I have, so I carry 3 20-pound propane tanks. I run my heat system and my hot water on propane. So the propane tanks are up there. I have a 2200 watt Honda generator that is brand new and never used because I've just,
So much electricity.
you don't need it. Yeah, so much electricity. And then
How
on
many watts of electricity in the solar panel?
1200.
Okay.
1200 watts. And then on the other side is where my AC for the Habitat is. And I just used a regular window unit out of a house. And,
Inside
you know, I know a lot of people use like split air conditioned systems and everything, which, you know, I looked into. They probably run $4,000 or $5,000, most of them. This is $175 at Lowe's. And, you know, if it craps out, and it hasn't, 2 years, it's been, you know, pounding away in there and it works fine.
And that much solar panel will push that AC? For how
It
long?
will. I don't use AC very often, and most of the time, like I haven't used it since last summer, and I'll tend to use it. Obviously, I'll use it more if I'm connected to shore power, but I travel the way I travel and where I go. I kind of follow the sun around, and I try to stay out of the hot and stay out of the cold. So I'm kind of a fair weather guy.
Okay, so
Up here on the roof, I was telling you, this box I've utilized as the house air conditioning system for my Habitat.
So you just cut a hole in the back and it's just...
Correct.
Right there?
That's right.
Once.
Yep. So yeah, I mounted the air conditioning basically as a window unit. And I cut the hole and it's all insulated in there.
And then you pull 1200
1200 watt panels.
through the inverter. It has to turn it to AC to make it run.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Is there a DC window mounted thing? I wonder. You looked into that?
I did look into that. They don't work very well.
Gotcha.
So I just went with a straight AC unit. I have enough inverter that I can run it through that. It's not a big deal.
And then you've got the Honda right here.
Honda generator is stored under there. Like I said, I've never used it. And then the house batteries are in this box over here.
Nice.
And then up on the roof,
Can I step on this?
yeah, in between the red lines. Yep.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Okay.
So on the roof here, we've got 12 Renogy solar panels generating all the power. As you can see, I could have put 2 more here and could have had 1,400 if I wanted to, but I decided to put a deck up here and we sit up here and have, you know, cheese and crackers and a cocktail. And then my kayak mounts on the roof. Obviously, it's cutting down a little bit of the solar power right now, you know, but I don't know, maybe only 15-20%, so it's not that big of a deal.
So we talked about water. We talked about.
And if you want to look at the front here, you can see one of the propane tanks. That is a solo stove or camp. And those 4 boxes are just basically storage that I usually keep most of my cycling gear in.
It's not a bad idea. So how do you deal with the? Do you have a walkthrough? You don't.
I do not have a walkthrough. It was one of the things that people had asked me about from a security standpoint. I don't really understand it. That mentality. I don't know how it makes it that much more secure. And what it would do is completely diminish the amount of space I have inside the habitat where my kitchen is. It just wasn't worth it. I did look at it, I thought of it as an idea, but if we go in the cab, you'll see that I would have lost that whole area going through the back of the cab anyways.
I just want the kids to be able to poop while we're driving.
And that is, I get it with little kids or animals, you know, if you have pets maybe, but I've got a fridge where you would be crawling through, so.
That's awesome.
Kind of hard to do one-handed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the biggest downside of any kind of military truck, and certainly the store in Stevenson, is the cab is super Spartan, right? It comes with just metal. It's loud, it's vibrating, it's just incredibly uncomfortable, particularly the seats. So probably the most expensive thing I did on my build was put these German Schielmann seats in. They've got, you know, dual armrests and all sorts of adjustments. They're also heated. So that is like it's comfort on the road. But I put probably 5 inches of insulation in the ceiling. Multiple layers of insulation on the floor. I can actually drive this truck along and listen to the radio while I'm driving, believe it or not.
Having an LMTV, that is awesome.
That is awesome.
Especially when the fan turns on.
Yep.
It's like,
Yep. First time the fan turned on in this thing, I thought something was broken down. I pulled to the side of the road, and I was like, "What is that?" I upgraded I put an air conditioning unit in. So this is from a later model LMTV. I took this pod. I wanted to put all my overhead lights and stuff. I took this out of a M1083 or I forget what, a different truck. But I kind of completely redid the cab. This is where the second refrigerator is. In between the seats back here, there's another 3,000 watt inverter. I've got backup camera system, and then I run with the Garmin Overlander for my GPS. My Garmin InReach here is sort of my emergency backup satellite system, and then my iPad here I kind of used if I'm pulled to the side of the road or something to look up stuff. But like I put radio. I kind of tried to make it as modern as you can get. Replace the steering wheel with the slightly smaller than the bus size one that comes on the military truck.
The big cranker. Who makes that steering wheel?
It's a secret.
Okay.
This steering wheel is actually made by Acela.
Okay.
But good luck trying to get one.
Awesome. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. I took that off the old.
Yeah, I noticed
grill
that.
in the
That
front,
should be on the
cut it out.
bumper.
Yeah.
That's a war trophy right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that this is positive proof that Overlander vehicles are the ultimate bug out vehicles. Would you agree?
For sure. I mean, the key to bug out is that you can sustain for long periods of time, and I would like to do it in some sort of comfort, so I'm not like just on a tent out in the woods somewhere,
Starving and no shower.
Yeah,
and no
that's
food,
right. So I could still do it. I could kind of do it in luxury, but still bug out and be off grid. Because, like I said, I've been off grid now for 6 months, and
I think
no end in sight, really.
Proof all by itself. That's phenomenal. All right, man. Well, thank you for walking me through your vehicle.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Leave your comments down below. Thank you.